Gold wasn't the only commodity falling today. Oil prices closed at a 4-month low, $96 a barrel. And just today, ExxonMobil, the world's biggest publicly traded energy company, reported that profits fell 18% last quarter, even though it managed to earn nearly $8 billion. That helped ExxonMobil become the biggest gainer in the Dow. Its stock rose almost 1%. But year to date, the company is one of the weakest performers in the index. Bob Pisani drills down on the numbers.
Oil giant ExxonMobil reported earnings and revenues above expectations, but earnings were lower than the same quarter last year because profit margins on refining operations, primarily gasoline production, were much lower. The problem is growth. When you're as big as Exxon, it's tough to grow. Demand is weak, and the supply of oil is strong, thanks to abundant new discoveries of oil and natural gas in the United States.
This is a company that's increasingly going to struggle for growth. In fact, there's going to be no production growth next year and only 2% production growth for the next few years.
On top of that, production costs are rising worldwide. Another issue for big oil, finding enough new oil globally to replace what they lose each year. Exxon loses roughly 6% of their production each year. To replace that, they have to find more oil, often in politically unstable parts of the world or in a more difficult geological environment. Little wonder that Exxon's stock has been stuck in neutral all year, up only 2% in a year when the S&P 500 is up 24%.
This is the third worst performing stock in the Dow Industrials this year, so it is difficult to get too excited about it.
All the growth in energy stocks are in smaller companies that are part of the fracking revolution in the U.S., where companies like Pioneer Natural Resources and service companies like Halliburton and Schlumberger have had huge returns this year. Faced with slow growth, many investors are agitating for Exxon to return more cash to shareholders through a higher dividend or to buy back more stock. Today, Exxon maintained its buyback program, but did not increase it. For Nightly Business Report, I'm Bob Pisani at the New York Stock Exchange.